Staying wealthy is a very different process than striking it rich. Now, to get rich, there's a lot of different ways of going about that throughout your life. And I'm not going to go too much into detail on this episode. What I really want to talk about this time is how you stay rich or stay wealthy. Let me spend a couple of minutes on the get rich scheme, which I know would be great if this was like a magic pill or something that was really easy to do. But there's a variety of ways that people get rich. It can be a lifetime of accumulation through constant savings and investing that can slowly build assets, and then you're getting towards retirement and you've got a few million and now you're doing really well, enjoying a great lifestyle. You could also start your own company and get wealthy that way. Start a company, it does really well. You put in a ton of sweat equity and hard work over years, and someone could come along and buy that company, or it could go public. Or you could work for a startup company and really get wealthy or rich that way. Real estate is a very typical way that people can build wealth. Again, it takes a long time, but you get one rental property, you wait a few years, get that up and running, another rental property, and then you kind of snowball that effect to, after a decade or two, you've got 4 to 10 different properties all generating income, and you're starting to really build a lot of wealth. So there's different ways of striking it rich. Also, you can get into gambling, right? Or betting on small companies, or there's lots of ways in the public stock market of trying to really gamble with small amounts of money and try to strike it rich. But of course, everything comes with a lot of risk, whether starting your own company, investing in real estate, going to Las Vegas, however you're going to try to strike it rich, go out and try to find some oil, they're all very risky. The difference is to stay wealthy is different than getting rich. And I was reminded this recently. I was reading an article in the Wall Street Journal on COVID derails retirement dreams, about small business owners that again had invested in a small business and built that over many years and were starting to build a lot of wealth. But everything was tied to, say, one small business. And if something comes in sideways, that can really derail it. And so these people had gotten rich, gotten wealthy, but didn't stay wealthy. And it's a very recurring theme because the two are extremely different. As I mentioned, getting rich is one thing, usually investing time, money, energy, capital into small intensive projects to try to grow them quickly. Or of course, like I said, you can invest slowly over many years, diligently in riskier assets and grow that over years to get rich. But to stay rich, you have to really become a lot more defensive. Once you have built up wealth, you do not want to go backwards. You do not want to invest that into a single small business and watch something like a pandemic come in and wipe that out. You do not want to take half of your wealth and bet it on black and spin the wheel one time, see if you can double your money. It can come in and wipe you out. There are a million things that can come sideways and wipe you out. And so once you have become rich, become wealthy, have built up some assets, you really want to stay wealthy. And to do that, you want to diversify. You want to come up with multiple different assets, all invested in defensive type strategies across many different domains. So then something like a pandemic or a bear market comes in sideways, it's not going to take out all of your assets. Not even going to take out 20 to 30%, 50% of your assets. It's going to take out some things that are invested in that area, but since you were well diversified across many different assets with a large portfolio, you're going to be very stable. The portfolios I'm talking about can be not just public portfolios. You can own a small business. You can invest in real estate, but you just don't want to have all your assets tied into single strategies where something coming sideways or out of nowhere or some kind of market or force wipes that out and really knocks you back down. Once you have become wealthy, you want to stay wealthy, and that is by having a massively diversified, well-managed portfolio of assets, real, intangible, tangible assets across many different domains in order to keep living the lifestyle that you want to live. And that is how you stay wealthy. It's a very different process. And so a lot of people come up for 10, 20, 30 years really building the wealth, building those assets. And that takes one sort of mental strategy to do that. And it is a different mental strategy to stay wealthy. It takes a lot of defensive strategies, a lot of humility to say, I don't know what might happen, and so I need to diversify across many different platforms, not just the one thing that I know that built my wealth. Don't keep doubling down on that. Once you have built up a lot of wealth, you need to diversify that and not keep doubling down on what made you rich. So there's a short, brief introduction to the difference between getting wealthy and once you have become rich, staying rich takes a different, new type of strategy. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. I'd love to hear any comments or questions, and have a great rest of your day.